Still got Craig's old character image up there for Rolf. Not that that's the end of the world, but um,
I'm fine with whatever's
Okay,
up there.
I'll do it.
I have your new character portrait.
I have that's the one I thought was up. I'm fine with the one that's up there. Unless you're talking about something on streaming or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
on
I've got the
streaming.
bald dude. He's dead.
Yeah.
I need a dwarf picture. I don't think I have a picture yet.
Oh,
We'll worry about.
I got you.
All right, Landry, you want to do an overall overview for Kara and everybody else?
Okay, so well, I know that we start in the city after. Oh, well, like everything, or just like with new characters.
Just a short, short version of the whole artifact adventure, stolen artifact.
Okay, so well, we start in this guy's pretty cool gathering full of like really fancy people, and then oh no, there's also like evil druid guys. And we notice them and they start spawning like weird lizard things, and then we like beat them up a little bit. But they end up taking this artifact, and that's not good. Like that's pretty bad. And then we go out looking for info. We get info. We go to this weird cult leader thing where like the supposed fake druids are, because they're not real druids. And then somehow a bunch of people die, including Dad's character. And then my character finds weird spider people, and then we all go fight spider people, and then Rolf comes in. We follow said spider people. I think we're following them at this point because I don't know that we defeated them. I don't remember this part exactly, but we end up in this room and then we fight like rats? Question mark? Like weird goblin things.
Gotcha.
I don't remember what they are. But then we find this cool door. It's an elemental room. And then we mess around with that for I think like actually 2 sessions. And then we figure out that puzzle. And then I think we go back to the cool guy's house and then give him back the artifact.
Big B.
Yeah.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah, and then and then you'll have there's an assassin that's after you, and with and you all found found out that this lady of high society is working with the Thieves Guild and was the main bad guy behind all that, and she's very powerful, has powerful friends, and so Bigby recommended y'all get out of the city for a while, and so he opened a portal and sent y'all to the Borderlands, the Shadowlands, or what are they called? The Silent Lands. I can't remember what they're called. The Borderlands. He said that he's got a keep somewhere that's been abandoned, and that he'd eventually like for y'all to kind of find and restore, and that can be your base of operations. But before that, he has you headed to on the road to meet up with a he told you, I think, to meet up with a guy named Oleg, who's somewhere in this area, and that you could kind of start get some information from him. He also gave you some papers, if you recall, that are an official decree that all of you have been authorized to kind of to explore and travel this area and kind of make it and civilize it, right, against bandits and other and monsters and what have you. It was from the a group of people called the Sword Lords of Restov. Restov is a city nearby, a relatively small city nearby, and the political people, the people in charge there, basically have given you, or at least you think they've given you permission to explore and conquer kind of this area. And then metagaming talk for a second. What we're doing is we're kind of transitioning into a hex crawl. We've been doing different types of D&D adventures, mainly for Landry's benefit because she's never played before, so we're introducing her to different kinds of stuff, and then Kara, obviously, she's got limited experience with her age as well, so we're going to try running a hex crawl campaign for a little while, and we'll learn about that as we go. But basically, that's where you have it's more of an open-ended instead of a story-driven adventure. It's kind of a map-driven adventure. You have a wilderness that you need to explore, right? So that's kind of the idea behind Kingmaker. It's a very famous adventure path for Pathfinder. It's one of the most popular of all time, and it takes you from like level 1 to level 20, and you start like small. You start the same place we're starting, and then you like slowly grow like a country, right? You kind of start your own kingdom by growing towns and bases, and there's extra rules for that. So, and I know Mike said you said you played Kingmaker before, or
No, I played the video game, but I only got a little bit into it before I stopped because it was too hard to beat because I'm no good at video games.
Gotcha. Okay,
Much better at metagaming than video games.
gotcha.
That's a joke.
Yeah, so we're gonna go through a shortened, abbreviated version of Kingmaker. I'll customize it some, but that's kind of the plan. All right. So the 4 of you step through the portal one at a time, as we played out last week or 2 weeks ago. You all step through the portal one at a time, and as you step through, you find yourself on kind of in the wilderness a little bit, on a dirt road. There's a forest off to the south. You can see mountains farther to the south in the distance. This new section of the world kind of comes into focus as you step through. And then the last person to step through is not one of the 4 of you. Is not someone that any of you are expected. Maeve, do you remember the last time you were in the city? We were doing downtime and stuff, and you made a friend. You met a friend that was fighting in the arena. That was like I don't remember the exact details, but it was she was kind of a desert warrior and had scimitars and bows, or she had Kopesh. Let's say we're gonna retcon this just a little bit, Landry, so that Kara is the friend you made in the city.
Oh, cool.
Right, and so you had talked to her about your upcoming adventures, and you didn't, and you kind of invited her to Bigby's dinner party, going away party that he had for you all. And she wasn't sure if she was going to go or not, or I don't know if she had plans to go, but Sola, Sola, a little bit of your background is you were in the city and you were fighting in the arena, in the arenas. and you made friends with Maeve with Landry's character,
Right.
and that would just happen at the very end. It was a little short thing we did. So they don't know very much about you.
Well,
But she decides to step through and come with you all. Kara, why don't you tell us about your character?
well, I'm a desert ranger, so I've traveled a really long way. Um, and I have a really interesting ancestry, and so my character is really like driven to find out about her ancestry and her history, because she doesn't really um she doesn't really know what it is. So she's like an Aasimar, which is like a human like half human celestial person.
Oh wow.
Um, and so she like has been like experiencing weird things and whatnot, and is like doesn't know what's going on and is trying to travel the world to find more information.
Very cool.
Yeah, okay, so you're part angelic, right? Like you have some kind of like was it your mother or your father that had some kind of angelic blood?
My mother.
Your mother, okay. So you have a human father and you have like some kind of angelic mother and you didn't really know her, you just grew up with your father.
Yeah.
And can people tell when they look at you? You're covered up, right? Like you're covered. I know your character is covered up quite a bit. So is that because you're trying to hide it?
Yeah, a little bit. You can kind of tell I have like kind of golden sparkly skin a little bit.
Crazy.
Okay, so when people look at you, you look a little bit otherworldly.
Yeah.
If they look closely at your skin that's exposed. All right, and describe what she's wearing, and they kind of heard your weapons, but why don't you in armor? But why don't you describe what you're wearing?
Yeah, I'm in like desert robes, and you can tell that I'm like from, I mean, I don't know if Arabic is the right word, but
From a
um
desert
from a
part of this
desert,
world.
yeah, a desert part of this world. And I have what is it called? What are the masks called? I forgot. But
Like a veil, just a veil. I
yeah,
think.
um
I know what you're talking about.
Mike,
yeah,
what's the
just
name of
like
the
a
desert? Sorry, Mike's our Pathfinder expert, and he's playing in a campaign that's in the Egyptian part of the Pathfinder. What's the name of that part of the world? Do you remember?
Uh-oh.
Hey, sorry about that. I have a kind of a bad cough tonight, so I'm going to spend a lot of the night on mute. But since this is virtual, have no fear, you can't catch what I have. Yeah, there's a bunch of them, and
Is it
they
a
all kind of blur together.
shamog?
There are lots of A's. I remember that, but I don't think I can get to. I might be able to find a campaign map, but yeah, and we're in. This is the Pathfinder world. I actually know Forgotten Realms a lot better than Pathfinder, but
Yeah, that'd
so
be
I don't know how.
Karatur.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah.
I thought you might remember from your other campaign that you're playing in Pathfinder. But
Yeah. I mean, I know because we stare at we have this big map crawl that we're doing. That same thing like a hex grid crawl. But excuse me. But no, I apologize. I do not remember.
no worries, no worries.
I know what the name of what you're wearing is either a keffia or a shamog.
log.
The whole outfit,
No, that's the headdress.
the headdress. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, you really like take any like stereotypical desert kind of ninja looking person, and that's me.
Nice.
Dad, do you have my my full on
I
my full
do.
picture?
I do. Hold on, let me find that. I'll have to drop it in Discord. I don't have it in.
It's fine.
I don't have it in Fantasy Grounds. All right, in the player characters channel, I'll paste that there. So you have like leather armor, desert. We call it desert leather. It's probably like, I don't know, maybe it's like camel hide or something. And then you have like flowing robes that are kind of wrapped around you and wrapped around your armor, kind of hiding your armor and everything as well. And you have a Hopesh now, which is that unusual shaped sword,
Right.
and a short bow, probably across your back, right? Um, what else do we need to know about your character? Anything else? Is that
I don't
everything?
think so. I think that's it, really. I haven't
All
hashed
right.
her
So
out yet.
why did you decide to leave the city? You traveled a long ways to the city from the desert area of the world, and then you somehow got yourself tangled up in the arena in the gladiator battles. They weren't to the death, by the way. But they're like blood sport.
Right.
But then you decided you met Maeve, who is. Oh, we probably need to go over the other characters for Kara. But you met Maeve, kind of. Y'all quickly became friends, and you decided to come with her on this great adventure. They all work for a wizard named Big B, and you met him briefly at the dinner,
Right.
and decided to come along. Why did you decide to come along?
Well, I kind of like ran out of I was at a like dead end in the city looking for information, and I figured Maeve could help me out if anyone could like find more about my ancestry. Yeah, I figured it would be her, so I just thought I should tag along.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why she might know is because she's one of the first elves you've ever met. Landry, why don't you tell us a little bit about Maeve, Kara specifically, but it's a good, because we're starting a new leg of the campaign. It's a good refresher for everybody.
Okay. Maeve has kind of had a lot of retcons, I think, but she's she used to be kind of reclusive and like maybe almost like a basket case and weird, but like now she's not like that anymore. Anyways, but she was sort of kind of familiar with my previous character who she killed like the tribe of because she had to. But she kind of grew past that. Um and she came to realize it like she had to do what she had to do and it wasn't really her fault. And she it's a foresty kind of girl. Um, she likes doing. I don't know. She just likes being weird. I guess. I think she probably has some of the most fun in the group. I don't know. Because she's a druid, so she shapeshifts, and when in the elemental room, she like pretended to be one of the elementals and like was playing with it basically. So she just likes to have a lot of fun, and she loves to eat food, and um she doesn't like Rolf very much because uh she thinks he's weird and kind of like it freaks her out that he's so short. And yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Maeve is like over the course of the last adventure, she kind of like came out of her antisocial shell, right, and became more social, more confident. I think something like
Yeah.
that, right? Just a little bit of
She
character growth.
right, yeah. And I think
Arc.
her specific tribe, I don't know, just because I've used this a lot. So, like that cool sonic scream type thing, I think that's like a very specific to her tribe type thing. Yeah, I just thought about that. But
Oh, cool.
yeah, that's all.
And what does she look like?
Oh, she uh that's kind of hard. I think she's very um I think she's pretty modest. That's what I would think. Um she's got like pretty long hair and kind of just I don't know. I think she dresses like Ali Sheedy in The Breakfast Club probably. Something like that. Yeah.
Baggy clothes and
Mhm.
comfortable.
Right.
Outdoors,
Yeah.
outdoorsy, druidy clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, very cool. And you mentioned Rolf, so why don't we go to Rolf next?
Yeah, Rolf is a barbarian. Basically, he's a monster slayer. So his goal in life is to die in glorious combat, and he's always seeking out challenges that can test his limits. He's incredibly muscular. He has tattoos that are etched into his skin, so they're it's not quite embossed. I mean, it's only like they're rune-like tattoos. So he wears no armor, but his tattoos are slightly magical, and they grant him protection and among other things. But you can tell that it's like literally like as if they were if somebody had carved deep grooves into his skin and poured epoxy into it. So they have substance. It's not just ink. Like if you were to rub your fingers over them, they would feel not like skin. But they're very hard. Uh, he tends to lose his temper. He's pretty uncouth and has no fear of anything.
That's cool.
All right, very cool. And Fayan says he's AFK. Barnaby, the only character that's lasted the entire campaign.
That's true.
And he has a big bullseye on his head. Yeah, so Barnaby is kind of a frumpled man in his maybe around 30 years old or so. He's got a um, like nice clothes on him, but they are well worn and starting to get a little bit kind of tattered, like shabby chic. He's got a thick curly hair and a generally very friendly disposition. He seems to be distracted a lot. He usually has a glass of wine in his hand, and it really doesn't matter where he is or what the circumstances. It's completely out of place. But he's a wizard, and he's fond of just conjuring a glass of wine into his hand and drinking it. And there were other party members that sadly are no longer with us that would constantly try and push him to sobriety, and it never worked out. He has a staff with him, and it's a slightly different staff that he'd used prior to the finding of the treasure room. He now has a handsome staff, and he's very attached to that. But other than that, not much to him. He's got a small backpack on his back, and some of you know that one of the things he bought was a little bag of holding that's tucked inside. And in there, he keeps all of his treasures. And since he's gotten the bag, he's taken to dragging along, different accoutrement for camping. So he will pull out a full-sized stand-up tent with a small bed and all kinds of fabulous things. So he likes the creature comforts. And then he has a quiver that he keeps on his hip that's tucked in with several small sticks and a sword that nobody's ever seen him draw. It may even just be a decorative sword. Nobody knows, but it's a little rapier. And you guys that have been with him a long time have never seen it come out of its sheath. That's Barnaby.
Oh, very
Very
cool.
nice, very nice. And then Fayan, I think he's still AFK. Okie there. Says he's getting some food and for his kid and had to check on the oven. Fayan is a human rogue who joined the party in the city, and we'll let Oak tell us more about Fayin in a minute. So each of you have the most important thing that you have that Bigby sent you with is this parchment. That so this is a there's a very civilized kingdom that you're in that Restov is a part of, and you're traveling south to this wilderness area that's known as the Green Belt. And so in this part of the world, you need a well, not always, but you have a charter, this scroll that gives you official permission to be in this part of the world and to tame it. Right? It says specifically, and I'll get y'all a copy of this here, but it says, "Be it so known that the bearer of this charter has been charged by the sword lords of Restov, acting upon the greater good and authority vested within them by the office of the regent of the Dragon Scale Throne, been granted the right of exploration and travel within the wilderness region known as the Green Belt. Exploration should be limited to an area no further than 36 miles east and west and 60 miles south of Oleg's trading post. The carrier of this charter should also strive against banditry and other unlawful behavior to be encountered. The punishment for unrepentant banditry remains, as always, execution by sword or rope. So witnessed on this 24th day of Talastril, under the watchful eye of the Lordship of Restov, an authority granted by Lord Noleski Sertova, the current regent of the Dragon Scale Throne." And Bigby warned you all to hang on to these and don't lose them.
All right.
We each have one.
You each have one. You each have your own.
So I have a question, Nick. Could Barnaby, being the smart cat that he is, commit the entire thing to memory and reproduce it with a conjuration spell?
Don't you have a
Kind of
magic pin that
tomfoolery
does
are
that
you up
for you?
to?
What's that, Nick?
You have a magic pin that does that for you, doesn't it?
Oh, I think I do. I forgot about my magic
You've got
pen.
that quill pin that will
Yeah. Okay. So when Barnaby has a chance, he will do both. Though he will try and commit that to memory so he can just fabricate it and hand it out if he needs to. But he will also make a few copies and tuck them in variously inappropriate places around his body, so they
Whoa.
shall not be found.
All that account.
very nice. Yeah, you have a magic quill that allows the user to copy and recreate whole pages.
Yeah. So that's what I'll do. Yeah. And I'll over time I can give everybody an extra one for themselves. Maybe.
Yeah, this is something you're going to do over the next few hours or days in your spare time, right?
Yep, exactly. Nick, you gave me your cold from 2 months ago.
Uh-oh. All right, and I see Oak's back. Faye and Moore. Oak, are you back? You just missed character
in my face.
No problem. You missed character introductions for Kara. So if you could give us a quick introduction of Fayin.
Fayin's somewhere in that 24-ish range, looks like. Shoulder length, unkept brown hair, goatee, a little rough around the edges, but a little kind of that roguish charm as well. Unassuming, rather plain black or plain brown leathers, very worn. That's about it.
All right. And I think that covers the introductions. You all made these introductions at Bigby's going away party earlier, and now you're on the road through the portal and on the road to Oleg's trading post. you all are traveling kind of southwest along the road. You really have no idea where you are because you just magically teleported here. But you do know. Why don't how about let's start with a roll. Everybody make a common knowledge roll to kind of just see how well, see if anybody knows
never
this part of the world.
Uh-oh.
Maeve,
Look at you, Maeve.
that's a success with a raise with a 9. So you know this area a little bit. So you've never heard of Olog's trading post, but you've probably in your long life you've been through this part of the world before in the past. Probably sometime in the distant past. You know that that most likely from just kind of getting your bearings with the mountains. The mountains are down to the south, and they're in the green belt, and the road kind of travels west. The country, you remember that the country or the kingdom to the north of this area is called Rossland, and the town, or a small city, large town, is probably back east along this road. And then and to the west you can see forests, you can see mountains to the south, and so you know this area a little bit, not super well, but you have a vague memory of being here before.
Okay. Cool.
And so you're pretty confident that the way to travel is west, and then the green belt is to the southwest of where you are.
Okay. So I guess I'll tell everybody that. I think we should travel west, because Big Man Big B told me about that.
Hey, also, real quick for everybody, I noticed that everybody except for Oak's dice are black. It looks like.
Mine are yellow.
I just changed mine.
I only see green. That's weird. Okay. I see Oak's is green and everybody else's looks black to me.
Mine are blue.
It's weird. Okay. All right. Well, it's not the end of the world. Figure it out later.
Hey, Nick.
I forget how to change the color of your dice anyway.
There's in the top right under tools, there's a dice emblem, and you can click on the default and change the body. Click on the body and the text.
Got it.
Hey, Nick. There's something in the under the modules. There's the Pathfinder map of the Inner Sea. I don't know if you would want to use that maybe just as a level set to kind of get everyone in the mood. I know maps are neat for me.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, and you
Good idea.
can drag and drop this map onto your hotbar so you can pull it up. But I think since this is so map based, it would be kind of neat to have it.
Yeah, and I'll get you more of an inner.
Or what area of the map generally are we in? North, south, east, west?
We are in the middle. Above. Wow, this map is really big.
Yeah.
The
River Kingdoms?
Yeah, somewhere around the River Kingdoms, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dagger March, Seven Arches. Let me share this map with everybody. First off, that should pop up for you. Is it Ustalov?
The image won't pop up for me.
it takes a minute.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty
So
big.
it's loading.
Yeah, a lot of
Might be.
electrons.
Yeah. I'll have to find it because I'm not sure exactly where it is on this map. I don't see.
Well, what are you looking for specifically?
I'm looking for the part of the world we're in. Green
Okay,
belt. You see the green belt. The river kingdoms.
yeah, I see the river kingdoms. Do you see that?
Yeah. Okay.
There's a
Just
new
go to the
ping feature you can use. Also, in the
go
upper
to the.
right, there's a bullseye, so you can
Oh.
Okay, cool.
do like that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. How do you do that?
Upper right corner of the map, there's like a bullseye. Right, it should be third from the left, right beside the
Right corner
camera.
of the map.
It says ping mode, like where
Oh,
you can
ping.
close it.
We're up here somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, okay. By brevity.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Okay. Now, do we have like a house or like a that red gives us like a keep or something?
That no, you don't. You have there's he mentioned that somewhere in the green belt is a keep that he said was really not much more than a tower the last time he saw it, but it's been years and years, and it's probably abandoned or taken over by monsters or in ruins. But that's part of what he wants you all to do while you're here is find his old keep and do what you can to restore it.
Okay, and so we're in this Brevany vicinity in the kind of the northeast corner.
There's not a whole lot of details. Let me share.
No, all good.
I think you're in here somewhere.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so it's the time of day here. It's hard to tell what time of day it is. It's it looks like it's maybe mid to late afternoon. The five of you, upon Maeve's directions, traveling west along the dirt road, and after, let's see, okay, Oleg's trading post is located at the southern edge of Rossland and thus Brevoy. So yeah, so we're down here somewhere. We're like y'all are somewhere right in here about. And I've got some other maps I'll share as we go on. After maybe not even an hour's travel, you can see in the distance, to the south of the road, is a structure, and as you get a little bit closer, and I think Maeve, being an elf, can see better than the others. It appears to be a fort. It is square with what looks to be wooden walls, and then at each of the four corners, there's like the walls are maybe like 10 feet high, and it looks like crude wood, and then on each four corners is a tower, a small tower that's maybe 20 feet high, with little palisades, and it looks like as you get closer, even you can see on top of on top of each tower there appears to be like siege weapons of some sort. You can barely see them over the tops of the
Parapets.
but they don't look like they're in good repair. The whole thing looks kind of ramshackle. The gate has a wooden log the top of it that lived there recently. It's been as you get closer, you can see that it's been restored.
Is this our fort?
And it's got a little there's a little road off to there's a little trail that leads to the front gate. It almost looks like it's abandoned, but you can tell that
Would this Nick? Does this look like the one we're looking for, or is this just the first one we ran into?
you don't know what you're looking for.
How do we identify the one that goes with our writ? Is there a or that goes with the directions? Like, how will we know when we how
you find? Yeah, that's a good question. So I think Big B told you that it's a stone keep in disrepair on the south edge of a. Well, he doesn't even remember, but it's on the. He remembers that there's a lake nearby, and there were mountains. So, and he knows that it's somewhere in the southern part of the Greenbelt. So this would not be it because you're not quite in the Greenbelt. You're kind of like at the top of the Greenbelt. The Greenbelt is this area that's basically laid out in the charter that you're to explore. That's kind of the gap between. It's like this valley between the mountains, and there's woods, and there's marshes, and there's lakes and rivers, and you're at the top of the Greenbelt.
Fine line between repossessing a property and becoming home invaders. So all good. Hello.
You can see as you're traveling too, by the way, you can see to the south of you, you can see marshes almost directly south. And then past that are mountains and there's woods to the southwest.
Okay. Not the droids we're looking for.
As you approach this place closer, you get closer, you can hear there's buildings inside too. So you can see some the roofs of buildings. And you see and hear as you get a little closer hammering. And you see a man up on the roof of one of the structures. Inside, you can kind of see him as you're cresting a small hill on the trail. It looks like there's a man far away on top of the roof, and he's doing some kind of repair.
Interesting. Which part of the map are we on?
You are this map is very large scale because it's a world map. So when I zoom in, there's no reference for where you guys are at right now.
Oh, okay,
You're
gotcha.
about in this area.
When you say this area, I don't know where that is.
I just shared the map again.
Oh, okay. All right.
What are you going to do? As you approach this place.
Wait, so what is this place? A bunch of buildings and.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Kara had to step away.
oh, did she? Okay. Yeah, so you're approaching this. There's a wooden palisade that's 10 feet high, wooden walls, right? At each corner, there's 20-foot square watchtowers. They have on top of them, they have like a rundown catapult that's left over from who knows how long ago. This looks like it used to be like some kind of border fort, right?
And we do or don't think that this is the place that it's not. Okay, this is totally
no. It's what Big B put you wanted you to find is a stone keep that's in the south of the Greenbelt. So, so let's stop in the med-
Oh no, you're getting robot voice.
No, I am.
Yeah, now you're better.
Okay.
So
So we're
roughly,
going to be doing a hex crawl, and
I
kind of the
understand.
end goal of the hex crawl is to find the keep.
Okay, gotcha. So
Right.
this is so if we were to imagine that we just entered a hex and this is what we found so far.
Yeah, well, you're traveling. I'm not going to describe hexes for you as we play.
Yeah, I understand.
So,
I
but yeah,
understand. So we're traveling around. Okay,
you're in
gotcha.
you're at the top. Think of it as a map, a hex map, and you guys are entering the hex map at the very top in the middle,
Okay, I
and you're going to
understand.
explore the hex map to the south, the southeast, southwest.
Okay, gotcha.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. So you're approaching this
Is there anybody around at this fort? Like,
Yeah, there's one person.
there's
That's
somebody, there's a man hammering on the roof. It looks
that
like he's
human?
repairing the roof.
Can we tell?
You couldn't tell from far away, but probably.
Okay, I got you. And we haven't been traveling very long, so it's not like we're looking for shelter.
Correct.
Okay.
Each of you
Well,
make everybody
Rolf is
make,
looking around the group and seeing the indecision. I'm like, this looks like a distraction.
everybody make a smarts check from your attribute. Everybody makes a smarts check. Let's see who's the smartest.
It's not going to be me.
Looks like it is Maeve.
Uh-oh.
Maeve. This may be a little bit harder for you all since I didn't have a printout copy of your charter, right? The charter says that your exploration area is 36 miles east and west and 60 miles south of Oleg's trading post. So
Okay.
you're able to pretty easily deduce that this is probably Oleg's trading post. Cool. And Bigby had said he had a friend in the area
Gotcha.
named Oleg. So
okay, um, okay, I'll just. How far away are we? I'm just gonna walk up to the guy and be like, "Hello."
you can walk up to the gates, right? And the gate
Oh,
is
okay.
there's wooden gates and they're propped open slightly. So you're the first one in line, and you get up to the gate and kind of poke your head in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll knock on the door and then just kind of let myself in.
All right, and I have a map here for you all. All right, you can close everything else and open this and keep this trading post open here.
Okay,
So this
got
gives
it.
you a better breakdown of what this place looks like, right? So
Yeah,
you
totally
all
makes sense.
poke your head through. You hear a woman call out to you, "Hello." When you look inside, you can see multiple buildings here. You can see a wagon. There is a open area. I'm going to read you some of the A's, right? You guys can see the A's. So I'll kind of give you an idea of what this is. A1 is an open area. There's a couple of tables and a fire pit there. A2 looks like some kind of guest house. A3 is stables, right? A4 is another building. You're not sure what that is. A6, 7, 8. You can see inside because of the map, right? But it's a larger building. You're not sure exactly what that is either. But there's 4 buildings in here. The man is up on the roof of the stables repairing the roof of the stables. And you hear a voice call out to you from the area of like A6.
Gotcha. Is this Oleg's trading post?
It is. It is. Are you all? And you see this woman come out. And let me find an image for her. She says, "Hello, my name's Svetlana." This young farmer looking blonde woman, early 20s. She says, "Hello, you all must be the guards that we sent for."
I don't think we're who you're looking for.
No. That's a shame. She looks pretty nervous and a little scared. She says, "You're not the guards from Restov?"
No. We are a company's friends of Bigby.
I don't know who Bigby is.
What do
But when you say the name Bigby, the guy up on the roof, he stops hammering for a minute, and he kind of looks over his shoulder at you guys down there. He seems he's got a scowl on his face, right? And it doesn't seems a little
super happy about that?
on the grumpy side, yeah. And let me pull up a picture of him. This is Oleg.
Gotcha.
He says,
So what do you
Bigby,
what,
eh?
what do you need guarding from?
Bigby's always when Bigby's around, there's trouble around, but sure could use him here.
So what is it that you need guarding from?
Svetlana looks troubled, and she says, "Well, we can. It's a bit of a story, but if you all want to have a seat here at the fire pit, let me make you some soup, and we can talk about it." And she goes and she says, "Please make yourselves at home." And she goes into the larger house.
Has Oleg come down yet?
No, he's still working on the roof.
So I turn over. I said, I call up to the person on the roof. Are you Oleg?
Yeah, that's me.
What kind of repairs are you doing up there, man?
Just some leaks. Been working on this place for a while, and it's got some rains that been doing some damage. What's everybody else doing right now? Let's start with Barnaby. Barnaby, what are you doing right now? Anybody?
Hey, so Barty would be looking around, just taking careful stock of everything, trying to note who's there, the condition of things, how people are reacting. He has that read mind spell, so if he sees anything that strikes him as wrong, he might fire that up and try and figure out what surface thoughts are going through people's minds. But right now, he's not super suspicious. He's just trying to take in as much detail as he can.
Okay, yeah. From what you can tell, it appears like it's only the two of them here. You haven't seen signs of anybody else. It's a pretty small.
Any signs of attack, like any arrow chips in the wood or the gate, any scorch marks, any.
Make a notice roll.
Okay.
Good idea.
Hang on 1 second.
Fayin, what's Fayin doing while Barnaby's looking around? Fayin might be AFK. Maeve, what's Maeve doing?
Oh, that was a 6.
Maeve
God,
sits
it was
herself
so
right
close.
next to the fire and is just looking at it.
All right, you sit down on the bench next to the fire and are staring in the fire.
Yeah.
Sola.
I think she would even sit on the floor.
Sit on the ground next to the fire. Okay. Yeah, it's just it's not a large fire. It's so,
You're robotic. I don't know if you're still talking.
are you in mute?
No. Are you okay? I can hear you now. Can I go into A2 and just look around?
In where?
The A2, the bed place, I think is what it is.
The A2 building is the yeah. So it's a smaller building. Looks like it used to be. No, well, you can't really tell what it used to be. Are you gonna? The door's shut though. Are you gonna open the door and peek in?
Yeah.
Okay. You open the door and you peek in, and it's empty. And there's 4 beds and a couple of tables. Just what you see in there. Looks like it's like guest rooms, a guest house.
Oh, that's A2. Gotcha.
Can I tell like when's the last person? Like
Oh.
if anyone's
Oh,
in
that's,
there or
that's a
has
good
been in
question.
there.
Yeah, you can see there that one the bed that's farthest to the west. It looks like it's not quite made. It looks like someone slept in it last night.
Okay.
All right, and after a little bit, Svetlana comes out with some hot bowls of kind of a stew, and she hands them out to all of you, and
So I barely wait
she
for her to
says,
get to the table before I get up and take a bowl. And then without offering to help anybody else, I sit down and start eating.
"Nice." Is that from a hindrance? Do you have like a rude hindrance or something?
I started eating like a prisoner, guarding my food.
All right, nice. But I'm asking, is that a hindrance so that you're like
Nah, it's just a personality trait.
bitty? Okay. Okay. Reminder for everybody, anytime you're role playing a hindrance, it needs to have kind of a negative consequence, but remind me so that I can give you a Benny because I don't have
Oh,
everybody's hindrances memorized.
I am impulsive, but I wouldn't. That it really doesn't apply
Gotcha.
here so much. I mean, it's I guess sort of part of that being impulsive. Um, but at any rate, with my mouth full, I call up to Oleg and I said, "Your catapults look like they need the help of a dwarven engineer."
Oleg kind of looks over his shoulder at you. He goes, I think they need more help than that. Let's yeah.
Hey, there is
So,
no finer engineering I saw on the map the Five Kings Mountains. Is that where dwarves might be?
I don't. No, I don't think so. I don't. Well, you're not sure which mountains are around. I'll pull up a more. I'll have a local map for us next session when it matters.
Gotcha. No, I call up and it's like the engineers of my clan are the finest engineers in the entire world.
He just nods at you and keeps working.
You clearly haven't been
Svetlana,
around the world.
Hey, you little sprite.
Okay, so Svetlana, she's got stew. She brings out some more bread, and then she goes back in the house, comes back out with a bottle of wine. Barnaby, gets your attention. And
Barnaby already has flagging out in his hand and he's already drinking. But as when he sees the wine coming out, he'll finish his cup and he'll with a big grin he'll say, "Ah, that warms my heart and my liver," and he sets it down to get filled.
Svetlana, do you have anything other than grape juice?
Svetlana says, Oleg, are you going to come down from there and greet our guests properly or not? She's giving him a dirty look, and he kind of sighs and stops what he's doing, climbs down a ladder. He's kind of sweaty and a little bit dirty. He says, "Well, so if you folks aren't the guards we asked for, what was that? Dude, what was that hunter's name? Do you remember? He said guards are on the way. If y'all aren't the guards from Restov, then what exactly are you doing here?"
I'm gonna let somebody else
Were we
answer.
coming from Rostov?
Well, you came from that direction.
But
y'all
not-
went through the
no.
dimensional portal.
Okay. Good.
While this is going on, I look around to see how everybody else is doing, eating their soup, and if some or their stew or whatever, and if somebody's like kind of slowed down, I reach over to take their bowl and I ask, "Are you going to finish that?"
Barnaby hand him the bowl, and what did he gather with his 4, which was a success on notice?
Yeah, success. You didn't see any signs of combat or anything.
Okay, so
Uh,
Barnaby will look and say,
yeah.
we came from the direction of that city, but and he'll produce the document and just hand it to, I guess, the wife, since she seems to be more in charge, and say, we were told to stop here first and introduce ourselves, and I guess part of our job is to help out the area. I understand there's a lot of brigands, and he'll pause to take a really big drink, set it down, and he sways just a little bit and says, "We're happy to help out, but I don't think we're here to set up in your keep and guard it per se. What do you need help with?"
Svetlana takes the document that you hand her, and she opens it, and she kind of looks at it and has like a little puzzled look on her face, and kind of embarrassingly like rolls it back up and hands it to Oleg. She can't read, right? And Oleg opens it up and he starts reading it. And he says, she starts talking. She starts saying, "Well, we've been having a little bit of a problem with bandits here. They are they've come a few times actually, and we're having to pay taxes to them. That's just, it's horrible, really." And she's starting to get upset.
So I look over and see if how Maeve is doing on her bowl of soup.
No.
I reach over and ask if are you going to finish that?
No. You can't have it.
You can finish
said
mine
you're
as
not
well,
gonna
and I
finish it?
push my bowl over to him.
All right, I grab that bowl and start eating it.
When she says taxes, do I pick up what she's meaning?
Yeah, like
Protection
the bandit
racket.
Yeah, I got some kind of protection racket going for sure.
How much are you paying them?
Well, they come each month, and let's see, the first visit was 3 months ago, and they threatened to burn down our trading post if we didn't hand over all of our furs and our goods to them. So it was
What kind of furs and goods do you trade here?
Just whatever we can get from the local hunters and trappers. But we had to give them quite a bit of fur and other goods. And she gets kind of embarrassed again.
How
And
often
Oleg,
have they been coming? Just that one time, or?
well, they've been coming monthly. The first time they came, there was maybe like a dozen of them. There is a there's a two people that seem to be in charge. One's like a cloaked man wearing a cloak with a bow, and then there was a woman that has two hatchets, and she was quite mean, and she did most of the talking that first trip. And oh well, there was threats, and you see Ola getting upset. He finishes reading and he's like, I don't know about this Greenbelt business, but we're glad to have you. They made threats against Svetlana here, said some unsavory things.
How many times have they visited?
They've come every month since.
So, when was the last time they visited?
Well, it's been about a month. They're supposed to be here. Svetlana says it's been about a month. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. That's why we were hoping you all were the guards we asked for. The guards are supposed to arrive today.
You know where they are? Where they come from?
The guards?
No,
the bandits.
The bandits.
No, we have no idea. They just show up.
Tell me, when they show up, do they walk right in?
They do. They've shouted at us a bit from outside. That, like I said, the first time they threatened to if we didn't open the doors, they were going to burn the whole fort down.
I see. And did they all just kind of pile up in front of the gate?
How many were there?
There's about a dozen with those two leaders. But the second time they came back, there weren't quite as many people, and it was just the hooded man. The woman hasn't been with them since. And then the last time they came, there's only maybe like 6 of them. I think that they're starting to let their guard down a little bit.
Assume that you're easy prey.
Well, I'm afraid we are easy prey.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you have left that you could even pay with for guards?
Well, we've continued trading, so we get goods in, and she kind of motions towards the smaller building, A4 on the map, and says, we have some goods in the storehouse over there. We do okay, but they take most of what we've made the past few months, and so we're about to go out of business if we don't get some help.
All right. Barnaby will look at the others and say, well, this seems like the kind of thing that we could stick our beaks in. What do you say, lads and ladies?
Seems mundane, but let's do it.
Takes a big drink and it says, well, all right, so do you have any weapons? Says to the two.
Weapons for... I think we have a couple.
Are you able to fire bows or crossbows, or?
Oh, me? No, heavens no.
All right. Do you want us to beat them up and scare them? Do you want us to talk to them and try and get them to leave peacefully? Are you asking for their heads? What's your thoughts here?
She looks at Oleg, and Oleg looks at you guys and says, well, this document I just read says penalty for banditry is death, according to what you have there.
Yeah.
I grabbed the scroll out and look at it again. I said, sure does seem like death.
Barnaby will wave his cup and say, "One man's bandit is another man's homesteader," and take a sip. But
Hey,
all
real
right,
quick, Kara, I think your mic is too close to your nose, and I can hear breathing noise.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Just lower it
good to know you're breathing.
down to your chin,
Um,
close to your mouth, but
yeah,
lower.
Yeah, if you could just stop that whole breathing thing, yeah, that'd be great.
yeah,
Thanks.
just hold your breath for the next hour. So Barnaby will look to the others and say, "Well, I'm not really keen on hanging folks. If we could just talk about it, having bad behavior, but my guess is they're going to need some convincing, anyways. I do feel like we shouldn't just kill them outright because we're going to want to know where they came from and maybe address the source. What say you, Fan?
I'm fine. The only thing I would be concerned about it, what if they're part of a much larger organization that will be more than we can probably handle, and should we even take a bite of that? If it's a small gang, it's not a problem.
I'm not
Say,
sure we can take the measure before we get bloodied.
I ran once because the wizard Bigby made me run. I'm not running again.
Let's not bring professions into this, Sister Rolf. Maeve, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm up for anything my friends are up for.
Nods and says, "So you're the rope it is?"
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Barnaby nods and shrugs at this, looks to Sola, says, "Sola, I don't know your mind, probably least of all. How do your people handle such things?"
Well, probably not very well, in your perspective, but I'd say we should get some information and just kill them.
Well, Barnaby nods
Can we
grimly
do
at
it the
that.
other way around? Kill first, ask questions later?
hard to ask questions of the dead.
I don't know
nods.
that spell.
Oleg nods his head when after Sola speaks and says, "Yes, I'd like to. I want to see them all dead. I want to hang them, hang their bodies. If hanging is the punishment for banditry around here, I want to hang them from the wall there, from the gates.
Do they have to be alive when you hang them?
A warning to the other, warning to any other brigands. You know, they're you speak of their organization. They're coming in smaller numbers, but I get the feeling there's quite a few more than what'll show
What's
up
the name
tomorrow."
of their organization? Did they tell you that?
No, they didn't.
Did they give you any names? Did they introduce themselves?
No. They weren't the friendly
Well,
types.
so Barnaby
They
will,
brought they bring they're on horseback. They bring their horses in here. They load up the goods. They load up our hard-earned goods, and they take off with them. They'll be here if my calendar's right. They'll be here tomorrow morning,
Well, I agree with
a few hours
Oleg.
after dawn.
I think we should send them a message.
well,
But
the only question is, do we wait to find out who we're talking to? Discover what the size, as Fayan says, discover what the size of the. We're maybe just dealing with the tail of the snake. We might want to know how large the snake is. But if you all have your hearts set for blood, I do have a new spell I've been dying to try out.
Dying sounds good to me.
will there be
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
interest for us, Oleg?
All right then. Well, Oleg says, "I've got work to
think
do. I'm not a
I think
warrior."
Maeve. Hey, Nick. I think Maeve asked a question.
Oh,
Oh no, not me.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
that was
me.
Sola.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You two sound a tad
they
alike. I
do
didn't
sound
know
alike.
what this.
very
Kara's
similar.
Really?
yeah.
Sola,
I
can
didn't
you
think
repeat
so.
your question?
Will there be interest for us?
Coin.
Barnaby's brow
Mm.
raises approvingly, and he wags his glass at her and takes a drink.
Oleg says, I like the way you think." He says, "I'll tell you what. You can keep all the gear and anything you take off of the bandits is all yours, and see if I can find some stuff in this, some rewards for you in the storage room. If you
How
save this
about
storage from us, we'll happily pay you."
Barnaby says, how about we work to return to you some of your store goods, and in exchange, you provide us free room and board for as long as we need it here.
It's a deal.
Okay. Some of the stuff they're going to have, we're not going to want, like bushels of grain and stuff.
Right.
Barnaby says, kind of under his breath, and he says, well, Oli, can you tell us as much as you can about these men when they come, their weapons, how they stand or sit their horses, what tactics they use? We have a few hours to prepare an ambush.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of information. We haven't fought with them, so they come here into this. They, we let them through. They bring their horses in here, and he's kind of waving towards A1, right, the open area. He says, "Usually, this is where I'll set up a marketplace during the day. I've taken it down for the evening because I know the bandits are coming tomorrow. But they'll bring their horses in here. They'll load up at the storeroom." And he points to A4 again. He says they'll empty it out the best they can, load it on their horses.
How
And we'll
many
meet.
sit their horses while the others go in to the storeroom? Like half and half?
Don't remember. Yes, or something like that. They. I know. I don't even know the weapons. Swords, maybe. I do know this. The one. The leader with the cloak. Uh, he's got himself a fancy bow he wears on his back.
Did you notice any markings on any of their uniforms?
No, they don't have uniforms. They're all dressed.
Differently?
How much?
Yeah.
How much
They,
rope do you have?
how much what?
How much rope do you have?
Rope?
Yeah.
He thinks for a minute. He goes in the storage room and looks and says, I don't have any rope. Now, Mike,
Yeah.
one of the main uses of a Benny is to influence the story in a minor way. Would you like to spend a Benny to get a different answer?
I love when
That rope?
Nick goes into Monty Hall mode. Uh,
What's behind door number 2?
That's right. Well, can't hang bandits without rope. But
I think
will spend.
I think if you spend a Benny, then you could, because it's a minor story change, right? You could spend a Benny to kind of determine to go in the storage room yourself and find some of the stuff that you need that you're
Yeah. So
looking for.
Barnaby does go into the storage room, and while he leaves with one fewer Benny that he came in with, he does find several large coils of rope, along with large tarps, and he comes back out and he says, "I think these could be quite useful."
All right.
What
Drop
are
that Benny in the chat.
Yes, sir. Hoping you wouldn't get all Arthur Anderson on me there, but that's fair. All right. And then he says, "What are those pits up in A5 there?"
Oleg says, "Look, I've got work to do, and I don't know nothing about
You
planning
do
or
have
what."
work to do. You've got to help us get prepared for the attack tomorrow.
Well,
We're going to.
tell me what you need, but I don't. You tell me if you need something, but I've got.
Well, so they come on horses, and one of the things that we're going to try and do is, of course, we're going to kill them, but we need to capture a few to question, and I don't want anyone to get away. So I'd like to set up to the south, a goodly distance from the keep, far enough out that they won't see it when they come in. Some tripwires that we're going for the horses that we're going to raise in the tall grass. Once and here's that elaborate planning again, Nick. So stop me if I go too far. So that when they start to flee, we'll be able to possibly trip up a fast rider, because we don't have horses, and we don't want anyone getting out of camp, because that will quickly bring down a larger force on you. I was thinking these tarps could be used. Maybe are those pits up in A5 there?
Yeah, so certainly, you all should. That's part of the fun of this part of the adventures. You all should plan how you basically got the rest of the evening into the night to make whatever plans you want. So this is absolutely supposed to be the five of you planning on how you want to tackle this.
Okay. Well, I'll stop there. Then
So
let you kind of
what I'd like
drive it.
to go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
one idea from each person, maybe.
All
I
right.
think. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I think I'll like. Is the keep corner things like? Can I like shoot? Can I go up there and like hide and be ready to shoot one of them, or is that like too far away?
No, each square is 5 feet, so this is a pretty small trading post, right? And you can climb up there, right? There's steps to get up there. There's ladders. You can see where's the ping. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a ladder right there. See that ladder?
Oh, gotcha.
And here's another one right here.
Okay.
So you can climb up on the what are those? The ramparts? I don't know my castle terminology very well. So you could go up on one of those towers. You know what you would need to do is you would probably need to. You wouldn't be able to hide very well with just the busted catapults up there. So you would need to like carry some stuff up there, set up some boxes or something to hide behind.
Okay.
But that's
Then
a good
yeah,
idea.
I'll do that.
Okay, which corner?
Let's do the bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay, so you're setting up some boxes and stuff that you can take cover behind and hide behind in the tower in the bottom left.
Quick question: Do we think the initial fight is going to be them outside the fort, or do we lead them into the fort?
That's what I think we should do. We need to make this place look abandoned so that they come in seeking their extortion money,
Right.
and then we ambush them.
Right. So, in that storeroom, I believe there were also a few barrels of oil, right? I don't want to burn the place down, but maybe A1 we could soak the ground with a little bit of oil to surprise them. But
Owen says, "No, you're not pouring any oil there. This place is you're going to do more damage to the bandits."
Fireball.
That's not oil anyway. That's wine.
What?
The barrel.
There's probably a much easier method than this. Do they come in and partake
of wine?
Of the alcohol? Or they drink when they come?
Barnaby,
no,
Barnaby looks very excited.
No, they haven't been drinking. It's when they come in. They've taken a keg before, but they don't drink while they're here.
Is there a well here?
There's not a well inside the trading post, I see. Where's he get his water from? There's There's a well out back. He motions over the north wall. So few yards, some yards out there. There's a well.
So if we fight them on the outside, then we run the risk of them going and getting help, and this would turn into a siege. If not
if we could get
initially,
them
then
to start
later.
drinking and get them drunk, or if you have
we could be
concoct
fellas
something
like
into
we're traitors.
Yeah, then we can do this without much injury.
Very devious. I like it.
Well, Barnaby says I would also probably stay out of sight, so that I could use spells against them if when the time is right. I know, Rolf, you want to be toe to toe with them, right?
Die in glorious combat, of course.
Do you have magics that can either cause them to fall asleep or to charm them?
No, but I have a few that will burn them to a crisp.
That'll be a bit counterproductive to what we're trying to do, and to our kind guest's property as well.
Barnaby shrugs and says, "All I got are hammers."
Everything looks like a nail one. Yeah, that's all you have.
Oleg is listening to y'all. He says, they don't really go into the other buildings. So if you wanted to hide in the stable or the guest house, that'd be just as good as anything else. They come in here to this open area, and they load up their horses from the storage room, and then they leave. They don't. Luckily, they haven't been harassing us too much with our house. And he points towards the larger building, A7, 8, 6, 8, 9.
So, Fayan, if they're coming inside, you want to be down on the ground, talking to them, close, or do you want to be somewhere far away?
Oh, look, has anybody ever tried speaking with them? Have you ever had guests here that have attempted to just converse, and what were the reactions, if so?
There's not much reasoning with them. I mean, we tried when the first few times they just threatened to kill me, and worse, to the wife, take her off. And
if you want, I could pose as I could be looking for work, see if I can join them. If nothing else, I could, if they accept, I could ride back with them and try to leave something for a trail.
I like that.
Yeah,
I could make something that I could follow.
There's an old child's tale I remember being told. Anna and Hans, I could drop pieces of bread as we travel.
I was thinking more like a glowing rock, but
a bit obvious.
Oleg points at you, Fayan, and he says, "So your plan is to join them and help them steal my stuff, and then we follow you back to where there's 20 or 30 of them, and we don't."
If there's 20 or 30,
I'm going to be out of business.
And if nothing else, I can at least get the information and know what we're up against.
While that's happening, everybody's mesmerized, and Maeve maybe is looking over that direction. I take Maeve's soup.
Yeah, it's mostly. She ate most of it. It's mostly backwash.
You think old Rolf cares?
No, probably not.
Barnaby says, "Fayan, I actually like that plan a lot." Solo, what do you think? Take them here or infiltrate?
Oh, I think we should take him here.
Right. Well,
I'm fine either way. The only problem with that is what if we kill them all? Or what if we do take some alive and they refuse to speak? Then we're still none the wiser.
A tongue is no hindrance to me. I'll just pull it right out of their little heads. All right, I'll pluck I'll pluck one away from the group before you start murdering them, Rolf. How's that sound?
That sounds great to me. Just
All
leave
right.
me enough to kill.
So, Sola, do you like to do your work up close, or would you prefer to be get some type of vantage on them?
Yeah, I'll probably be up at the tower.
Right.
Too. Yeah.
So, Barnaby says, mind those towers are not going to have clear sight to the central courtyard. You may want to be on the buildings themselves.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I could do that. How what are like the building? What are the building rooftops?
Yeah, how tall are
like?
they? They're
Yeah,
all
like the stable.
yeah, the stable. Well, the stable, probably all three buildings are roughly the same height, right? And they are about 20 feet. They're about as high as the towers. So you could hide in on the roof, and and kind of like if you laid flat, although you know what, you guys saw Oleg working on the roof when you came up, so but that was down the road. So you're not positive, but you think that maybe you could hide on a roof, where
Okay.
if you were to lay flat, they probably wouldn't see you. They certainly wouldn't see you from the ground. You'd be worried that they might see you when they're riding up,
Could I
especially if they're
like?
on
What time?
horseback.
Could I start on the like very end, and then as I hear them get closer, come back to where?
Sure. Yeah, you could do
Okay.
something like that.
What time of day do they normally come?
He said they come about 2 hours after dawn.
Does the sun rise in the east here?
It does.
Okay. Well, I suggest you get maybe use the. Are those other two buildings tall?
Yeah, all three buildings are about the same size, the same height.
Okay. Well, Barnaby
They're
will
one
be
they're
on.
one-story buildings, but they have like slanted roof. They have
Yeah.
somewhat. They probably don't have slanted roofs, do they? I don't know.
If there's rain or snow, they would.
Yeah, they have slanted roofs.
Barnaby will be on A6 on the north slope, and he'll fight with the sun to his back.
All right. So, who else has ideas? Maeve, did we hear from you?
No. Well, this was a thought from a long time ago, but I know that we mentioned that we didn't have horses. I could be a horse. Or Maeve could be a horse.
Oh, very interesting. Something that they may want to steal.
Sure, like bait. Yeah.
You could be Faye's.
Your spell lets you turn into a animal for, like, you can spend extra points for it to last, I think, like an hour, right? Or a couple hours.
Sure.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And
Remember?
it wouldn't have to last that long.
Duration. Minutes instead of rounds. So you can only turn into.
That was an hour.
Let me see. I'm looking at shape change. Don't you have something special, Maeve? You have a special ability.
She does. It's
Did it
the
help with that?
druid special ability.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking it up
Do
right
you remember
now.
what it is?
I'm trying to find it right now.
No.
Hang on. Wild shape.
Oh.
Druid gains the shape change spell. She doesn't already have it, and it doubles the duration of the power when she casts it. Treat the druid as one rank higher, changing into the creature of the type animal. So
Okay,
it
so
doubles
duration
the
is 1
duration.
hour. No, this says duration is 1 hour.
So it's 2 hours then.
No, I mean,
it says 1 hour.
Wild shape says duration is 1 hour.
Oh,
So yeah,
I don't
you can
see
turn
that
into.
in the book.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Right
so 1 hour. So that's
Oh,
certainly
are you
20.
looking in your physical book?
Yes, I am.
Because this is. Oh, you're looking at Savage Pathfinder though, huh?
Yeah,
It
sure.
must have been. It must have been updated.
Yeah, it had to have been errated.
It's nerfed, right? Probably. So it's 1 hour. So turn into a horse for an hour.
Or
Like as
something
they
like that.
approach, the minute we see him
Yeah.
approaching.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully there will be enough horses for that we could steal. Or each have one of theirs.
All right, so they're coming. So that we're luring them in. Or did we decide on a ruse, like to where we're going to let them come in and we're going to try to? Are we just going to outright ambush them, or are we going to try to converse with them?
We could try and get some information out of them before we.
Okay, and so that horse could be what? Maeve could be someone's horse.
Just kind of hiding in sight, like throwing off the numbers.
Right, or it could be that like they try to steal the horse, or they try to demand that we give up the horse as part of the negotiation or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The horse sounds like it'd be better if we went through my plan of infiltration. I'm not sure that
Yeah,
you want to waste your power doing that to only have to immediately come out of it to fight.
Right. I agree with Fane on that. I think it's cool, and I definitely think we're going to use it. So I think the only question is really, do we engage in conversation, and if we do, who's doing the talking? I know Rolf will be there because that's his thing. Fane, you probably want to be close but in the shadows, right?
If we're going into combat, yes, I should probably attack from surprise.
I don't see this ending with a parlay.
My thought is, let's let them come through the gates and just immediately ambush them. They'll never see it coming.
Yeah, one thing I think we should probably do is talk to me about these gates to the south, Nick. Are they when they're locked up? Are they able to hold a can they hold the door shut? Because what I'd like to do is in the time we have left, could we modify the door so that it can be barred from the outside, and have have Oleg and his wife on the outside, and then just lock us in there so they can't escape?
Yeah. So okay. So they're about 30 feet wide, right? And the gates about 10 feet. The doors, there's double doors that swing inward. They're about 10 feet. So they're pretty large, right? They're about 10 feet tall and 10 feet wide. There's that log that's over the top of them, and there's wood underneath that. The log is kind of reinforcing it. And you can bar it on the inside. So you could. So you're wanting to set up. You're wanting to be able to bar it from the outside.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, once they come in and things start to go south, those two just close the gate and drop the bar from the outside, and then the place is buttoned up and it's a kill box. We don't have to worry about anybody running away on their horses.
Yeah, I like it. What's that that mobster movie where they lock the bikers inside the bar? You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah.
Now you can't leave.
That's right.
Now you just can't leave.
You think that's one of my favorite scenes from The Watchmen, when they had Rorschach in the prison? You think I'm locked in here with you?
Wasn't it like Goodfellas or something? I can't remember.
It wasn't Goodfellas.
No, that was Goodfellas. You're right. It was Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale. Yeah, it's Bronx Tale.
Now you just can't leave.
You just can't leave. Sorry. So you could spend some time jury rigging the door to be able to lock it from the outside, to bar it from the outside.
Yeah. All right. If you want to drop tokens, yeah, let's drop tokens and show where everyone wants to be set up.
Okay, so let's do this.
I say we could just if we talk to them, I have my ways in persuasion. But if not, then we could just torture them for information.
So save one. Yeah. Let one live.
Right. I think
What's A5, by the way? That never did go. I want to make sure that I know what A5 is.
A5. Where's A5? Those are the like compost pits and laboratory pits, right?
Are they? How deep are they? Would they
Human
hold
and
somebody if we drop them in
food
there?
waste. Yeah, they're somebody could hide in there. Well, they're all no, they're
No, like if Barnaby dropped a bad guy in there, could he get out easy?
oh no, they're probably like about 3 feet deep, and they're
Okay.
full of like compost and mulch and poop and all
Got
all
it.
that
There's
kind of
poop
stuff.
in there.
There's poop in there.
Look at that. All right.
All
Let's
right,
all
so
go to
let's
the
do it.
spots.
Let's do it this way. Each of you can kind of be in charge. Let's think it. I want to think of this in terms of projects, right? So each of you can do one little project throughout the night. So, for example, Barnaby's project is he's going to put a makeshift, bar in the gates, right? A makeshift bar on the outside of the gate, so that the gates can be locked.
I'll
From the
help
outside.
Barnaby with that. So
Well, that's
like,
one project. You can each have your own project. Is kind of what I'm saying.
all right.
So who else is doing what? Is anybody else want to do anything else? Sola, you're going to set up. You still want to set up boxes to hide behind and stuff to be able to shoot.
Yeah, I think I'll. Can I like set up a box on like behind A4, so I could like easily get on the roof?
Yeah, he has a ladder, so you can put the ladder on the back of A4.
Okay.
And was it A4s where they usually pull stuff out of, or they take the goods?
Yeah, A4 is the storage room.
Okay,
Yeah,
I want to get on the roof of A2.
So I'm gonna.
Okay.
Here's what I'm gonna do. You see the front of that cart, where I guess you probably would attach horses. I'm gonna take that off. So when the bandits come in, I'm gonna be hiding in A3, and I want to maybe be able to push that cart into them as they stream through.
Actually, that's a good idea, except not what you're saying. We should move that cart over near the front door so you can shove it in the way of the door so they can't get out.
That's a good idea.
Okay, you can kind of line it up. You don't have to take it apart. You can just kind of
It's gonna
line
be
it up
sitting right over
there.
there, so I can push it in front of the, like where it gets jammed up in there.
Gotcha.
Or they're gonna have to spend a lot of time and effort to get it out of the way, just to help block the door even more.
All right, and let me draw.
Who's gonna be on the outside dropping the?
Let me set it
Olga,
really fast.
or Oleg and Svetlana.
Oh, okay, I
right?
got you. So once they're inside, Oleg and Svetlana will do it. I'm gotta go AFK for a second. I'll
The
be right back.
palisade on the inside there, is that just flat wood and it drops straight off, or is there any kind of like a half railing or anything to hide behind?
Well, there's a.
Look, I see the ladder to crawl up in places like right there and there, but is that just flat open, like you could just walk straight off?
Yeah, it's flat
Okay.
open. And then the wooden posts stick up on the outside, right? So you have like half
Right,
cover.
but I was looking at questioning if there was cover from the inside.
Let me drop everybody's character on here. You'll have to zoom in because this is a pretty small map here. You can mouse wheel to get in and out, to zoom in and out, move around. All right, Barnaby, you're on top of the roof in the back. You're playing the next morning. Does anybody else have any other projects they want to tackle through the night? Kara, I'm assuming it's you. Somebody's breathing into the mic again.
Sorry.
No worries.
We're glad you're
Dang
breathing.
mouth breathers.
Like Darth Vader. Any other projects in the night? Is Barnaby the only one that's got a project? And Barnaby, will say you used that binny to be able to have the wood and everything, wood and nails and all that stuff that you need to.
That's fair. Thank you.
What did you
plus
say
whatever else.
A5 was? Are those like cages, or is that like a pit with something laying over the top of it?
Those are pits, like mulch pits. With what are they called actually? They're
How
called
deep are they?
middens. They're middens, middens,
Yeah, midden piles or midden heaps.
3 foot deep compost pits.
Oh, look,
Composting pits.
have the bandits ever gone behind this building? Do they even know these pits are here?
They probably saw them. They searched the whole place the first time they came, but ever since then they just come to the storage.
And it's the same group of guys each time?
I don't know. Some of them look the same.
I'm curious. We
Certainly
could
the
use if
same
we
leader.
covered these pits up with straw or something, and once the fighting begins, somebody draw one or two off to chase them that direction.
He nods. Yeah, sure, we could do that.
Well, one other thought that
Is that your project?
Barnaby,
Yeah, I'll be working on that.
Okay. Anybody else have any other projects to get? Rolf's project is not that big, but it's to get to move the.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah. It's, Rolf's project is to take the end off the card and put it in position to shove in front of the gate. Ladies, you're the only ones without projects. Y'all have anything you want to do, or are you good with just hiding and getting ready?
Yeah, mine was just moving that ladder over by the A4 behind A4.
Okay.
Make sure everybody knows where what kind of mark with something where we can see it in the dirt. So if somebody needs to have them chase them, we can run around the pits, but you can get them to maybe come straight across at you.
Gotcha.
All right. On the map, move your tokens to where you want to be when they show up.
So obviously we moved the cart to a different spot. So I'm kind of like right
Yeah.
here, so I can shove the cart.
Yeah, that cart is probably. I don't know if I can. I
You
might
probably
be able to
can't move
copy.
it, but
I can probably copy and paste it off of the map.
yeah.
Or what you
It's
can
9.
do if you
We only have
do
about
this.
15 minutes, so we'll have the actual fight.
yeah, we can theater.
Next
Well, that's
week.
fine. We can just theater.
Yeah, it'll
behind
be
that.
fine. Theater of the mind, that thing.
Yeah. All right. So you're back here, ready for the cart. All right. So.
Oh my goodness.
So you guys make plans. Y'all are ready for the bandits. The last thing we will do this evening in Savage Worlds is we will have the newbie do a downtime. So Kara, I'm going to teach you downtime. That's whenever anything, like you're traveling or you're resting at night or you're camping or whatever. It's a time for character growth, let's say. So, do you see? Let me find. Let me find the actual downtime thing. Is it called downtime? What's it called? It's not called downtime. It's called
interlude.
interlude. Thank you. Interlude. Okay. So interlude is when a player tells in character role playing story, basically to just kind of flesh out their character a little bit. We'll do backstory for you. So you're going to draw a card, out of the. Do you have the card deck? Do you guys have the card deck, or is it only me?
I think it's only you.
It's only
In the
you.
bottom. Okay. Okay. So let me draw a card, and it is a diamonds. So, Kara. So diamonds. Your backstory is you get a little bit of role playing thing. Just a few minutes. You got to tell us a little bit about your character. This is something that your hero wants or already has. It might be a material possession, recognition, a political goal, or even a trip that you wish to take to some amazing destination. Something you want. Think about that for just a second and make up a little story that y'all are talking at night. You guys go in the guest room and uh, you'll spend the night. You probably set up watch just in case. I don't know if you do or not. Ola can lock the gates, so it's pretty secure. But you all set up for that night and put your bedding out, sleeping bags and what have you. And as everybody's getting ready to sleep, they kind of ask you. The rest of the gang is kind of asking Sola to tell us a little bit more about herself. What's something that your hero wants or already has? It might be a material possession, recognition, political goal, or even a trip that you wish to take, or anything else.
Wait, so is it a story? Like, am I telling a story?
Yeah, tell a quick story. Just tell us a quick story
Okay.
about something you want.
Okay.
Put you on the role playing. Put you on the spotlight. Put you on the heat lamp for a quick role playing about your background of your character.
Okay.
If anybody can think of prompts for, if you want to ask something specific, maybe.
Well, because I kind of already talked
Yeah,
a little bit
you talked
about
about.
it. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you want to flesh that out more, or if somebody
Yeah.
wants to ask her a question, or what. Go for it.
So basically, like a few months ago, I woke up in the hot, blazing sand of the desert, and the sun was illuminating my skin, and my skin was all glowing and sparkly, a lot more than usual. I like always notice a tint of or some sparkle, but not really. And in my back, near my shoulder blades, I felt like a tinge of pain, of like something like growing in, like bones, like in just near my shoulder blades. And then I was hallucinating or something, because the sun started talking to me and saying, Kara, or sorry, Sola, there's some things that are like special about you. You're not completely from this world. And then it just left me in the sand. Finally, I made my way back to where my small little village was and found my father, and started questioning him. And he told me a little bit about my mom, who was a celestial angelic type person, and has given me some of her powers, but I had no idea what this means. So I went searching everywhere for some sort of information, but it all just seems lost or not spoken about or anything. And so it's been my life goal ever since to find my ancestry, and track down my tree and see where I'm from, really.
I forgot about your skin. At some
Nice.
point, when we're in the it's like, do you sparkle a little bit, or is it overtly sparkling, or just barely? Like if you catch it out of the corner of your eye, you might see it, or is it overt?
It's I'd say it's like reflective, I guess. Like, especially it really stands out if I've been like out in the sun, so it kind of was illuminated back in the desert. Now here, here, not so much, but
it sounds like from the way you're describing it, like you grew up not knowing this, and so it's probably getting not worse isn't the right word, but it's getting more prominent over time.
or more pronounced.
It's,
Yeah, it
starting
was
to show up more, slowly starting to show up more.
especially when I woke up that one day and like the pain in my back definitely, I looked at my hands and it was a lot more noticeable than I thought it was before.
And Solo, when you're telling the group about the pain in your back, and you just kind of unconsciously reach back there again because it hurts a little bit right now, and you feel like two bumps that are kind of weird, and so you're very very modestly you kind of pull up your shirt and you pull up your things in the back to like show the rest of the group, and you guys can see there's two like kind of small ridges in her shoulder blades, like she may sprout wings one day.
So I turned to her, but you're gonna offer that to show it to us.
I mean, I don't really know what it is right
Okay,
now,
like
so
do you show it to us?
yeah, I'm kind of like, is this
What is
normal,
this?
guys? What is this?
You should you should come with me to my clan and let one of Gorham's rune carvers look at those.
Interesting.
All right, and we'll end it there for this evening. You guys have a good night. Y'all have a good night's sleep at Oleg's trading post. Wake up. Svetlana has some nice breakfast for you, and you all finish up. You get in positions, and who's the lookout from where y'all are at? I think Fayen is probably the lookout.
Yeah, what
because
I'll do,
he's on
I'll
the-
be up on the palisade, and that way I can just kind of run and jump onto the roof from there.
All right. So Fayen, you're keeping watch, and you see just about right on time. You see a column of 6 horses heading your way, and you can see that one of them is wearing a cloak, and you run and you let you call out.
Yeah, I give a signal, like a type of whistle that we had already kind of agreed upon.
All right, and you run and you jump into position on A2, and Oleg looks at a few of you, and as he slowly walks towards the gate to let them in, and that's where we'll stop for the night.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Nick.
running, sir. Appreciate that. I also appreciate everybody who hung out with us tonight. If you'd like to catch up any of the replays of this game or any of the others that you may have missed, you can do so on YouTube and Rumble. Likes, follows, shares are appreciated. And hopefully we'll be back here next weekend. Of course, we never know how Sundays are going to go. But we'll be back Tuesday night for Kelsto's game Midnight Central. So hope to see you there. And have a great week, everybody. Night.
Thanks all.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody.